All right, turning now to Idaho, where Bryan Kohberger finally broke his silence in court, confessing to the murders of Kaylee Goncalves, Madison Mogen, Xander Kernodle, and Ethan Chapin.
Did you, on November 13th, 2022, enter the residence at 1122 King Road with the intent to commit the felony crime of murder?
Yes.
Did you do that willfully, unlawfully, deliberately, and with premeditation and malice aforethought?
Yes.
Wow. Fox News contributor and criminal defense attorney Joshua Ritter joins me now. Joshua, when we look at this, the prosecutor broke down in court as he spoke. Let's listen real quick.
We will not represent that he intended to commit all of the murders that he did that night, but we know that that is what resulted, and that he then killed Maddie Mogen, Kaylee Goncalves, Ethan Chapin, and Xander Kernodle.
There's a lot of criticism of the prosecution for taking this deal. Obviously, some of the families are going to be incredibly emotional. Some of them support it. What's your take on it?
I understand the frustration. I mean, far be it from me to criticize these families who are grieving in their own individual ways. And I understand it. If there's going to be a death penalty, you would think that this is the case it's reserved for, and you would have expected this to go to trial. I think everyone was shocked, including the judge. Initially this morning, he made comments to everyone how he did not even see this coming. So I understand their frustration, but end of the day, when you really consider what a trial means and what the prosecution ended up with here, I do think it was a good deal. No trial is guaranteed. Things can go sideways. You never know how things are going to end up. Secondly, you don't know, even if it was a guilty verdict, there's no guarantee that they even would have come back with a death verdict. So given all of that, the idea that he has now pled to all of these charges, he admitted in court, as we just saw in that tape there, what he did, and he waives his right to appeal. That is huge. The idea that for decades we're not going to be suffering through him appealing everything that may have taken place in that trial, and it is a sealed deal, I think is a huge benefit to the prosecution. So my heart goes out to the families, but I think the prosecution did the right thing.
So sentencing is going to be on July 23rd. Do you think that will be a routine sentencing hearing? The fact that he entered a plea deal, could the judge actually sentence him to something other than 4 consecutive life terms?
I think it will be routine in the sense that, yes, he will sentence him to exactly what we expect him to sentence him to, 4 consecutive life terms without the possibility of parole. But I think it will be anything far from routine when it comes to what we're going to hear that day. We're going to have an opportunity to hear from all of the victims' family members, and I imagine that will be incredibly emotionally charged. You've got 4 sets of family members who all have suffered a loss that's unimaginable, and they're all going to have an opportunity to speak in court, speak directly to that man, tell them what he robbed from them and how it has forever scarred their families.
Joshua, we'll move on here. You know, Diddy was finally found guilty yesterday of 2 of the 5 charges in his original case. And it looks like he could face up to 20 years in prison, but everything I've heard is there'll be probably a concurrent sentence, which means serving sentences for both at the same time, up to 10 years each. When I look at this, what I glean from it is that they were unable to convince the jury that he forced anyone to do something unwillfully. What's your take?
No, you're absolutely right. The one count that he was found guilty of was the count that didn't require the government to prove force, fear, or coercion. It was the count that just asked them to prove whether or not people were transported across state lines for the purposes of prostitution, which is fairly straightforward and certainly was proven by the government. I think this really was a failure on the part of the prosecution. It showed that they overextended, which you do not see all that often from the federal government. They're usually very careful, very conservative in the charges that they brought, but they brought a charge here that many people did not understand. People who were observing this trial, legal scholars who were following this trial, did not understand how were they going to prove that a private individual doing their own selfish and sexual desires was acting like a criminal enterprise more akin to the mafia, and the jury didn't understand it. And then when it came down to it, end of the day, this concept of consent was not clear to them as well. So it was a big loss for the prosecution. I don't think you can view it any other way.
Yeah, the judge did deny him bail, but now prosecutors, he was facing life behind bars. Prosecutors are now asking for 4 to 5 years. His defense is asking for between 2 and 3. So we await a final sentencing as well. But as you said, you could view this as a big win for Sean Diddy Combs. Joshua, thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
You're very welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm Brian Kilmeade. I want you to do me a favor. I want you to click to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page. This is the only way that I know for sure that you're not going to miss any great commentary, any great news bites, any great interviews coming your way on Fox. You can get it all here on YouTube. So subscribe right now.